for the playoffs. In the Rosemont Dome, we got the number 3 seed Signature against the number 6 seed Future. So it should be an interesting ball game. And this is the playoffs, so it's win or go home. And of course, there's another semifinal game going on right now on the other diamond, and that's between, sorry folks, I'm trying to get my lineup card squared away here. And again, there was no coin flip today, it was all by seeds, so Signature the home team. So Hex, the 1 seed, is playing Iron on the other diamond. So this is 16-inch style softball. You're seeing it correctly. No gloves. We use a 16-inch clincher. 6-12 on the arc, 1-1 count. 60-foot bases. You can lead off. You can't steal because it's no glove. Pitcher gets a drag step, 1 step left, right, or back. So here's Joey Krutnik leading off. Pitcher also gets 2 fakes or hesitations. Third arm action must be to deliver the ball home. And Krutnik swings and he hits a bullet the other way for a leadoff hit. Leadoff man on, and this Joey Krutnik, pretty good looking ball player, good outfielder. 6-12 on the arc, 38 feet from the rubber to home. This is a 16-inch clincher. Brings up Ssa Gotw. It is not a mush ball, and we do see bad hand injuries on occasion. We swing heavy bats, 38 ounces, 34 inches long, 2 1/4 on the barrel, all turf field. So here's Sam, he takes that pitch high and deep. This is also one of the smallest fields we're going to play on. 210 down the lines, 235 to dead red. Very short fence, height-wise, only about 3.5 feet tall, maybe 4. And Sam high, pop up, and that hits the roof. Little chaos, and it's going to drop. Again, I was just about to get to the roof. We do have a roof, and balls do hit it. If the ball hits the roof in fair territory, it is live. It can be caught before it hits the ground for an out. If it hits the carpet, it's all you can get. And because of the short dimensions, you only get 4 home runs. So that brings up Anthony Stacy in Future right out of the gate, a couple of base runners. I'd venture a guess that we'll see a few more balls hit the roof tonight. And there's a little grounder, and they're going to go to short way, and they get the out at second. And we'll show you the replay. Nice job by Mark Menizzi as he rotated, and that's a good example. Ssa Gotw, no slide there. And I think had he slid, I think that he might have made it there, but he didn't slide, and as a result, they just nip him. So here's Dominic Stacy playing first base tonight. I believe he's related to Anthony. And there's another ball off the roof, and that's going to fall. And just a little slap by Menizzi at second to get the fielder's choice. So we'll show you that. That was heads-up play there. As you can see, Menizzi didn't want to waste time trying to grab it, just kind of did a pseudo volleyball hack at it. That does score the first run of the ball game. Future a very early lead, and it brings up Ryan Rogers. So one ball hit the roof for a hit, another hits it and turns into a fielder's choice. And again, that's why and there's he goes opposite field, long run, but Marco gets there, and that'll be the third out. So Ryan Rogers flies out in foul territory to end the inning. But Future does grab an early 1-0 lead. So again, these are the playoffs. It's win or go home. And very interesting thing, the ballpark, as they call it, at the Rosemont Dome, which is where the Chicago Bandits, Jenny Finch and the women used to play, right across the parking lot from the dome. And weather permitting, on Wednesday, they're going to play the 2 semifinals here in the dome, and then they're going to head outside and cross the street and play the championship across the street, outdoors. Good transition as the winter indoor season coming to a close this week. So, and that field's going to be a hair bigger because it is, I believe, 240, could be 245 to dead center. They're still going to play 4 home run rule. So here's Danny Marston, and there's a swing and a base hit. So both teams have put their leadoff men on here in the first inning. So it's going to be interesting to be in that facility, and that's a foul ball, so that'll just be a strike. So it looked like Mark was trying to really turn and burn into this right field corner. And after this game, we'll have Flashline playing the Fat Kids, and that'll also be on this diamond here. And Menizzi swings, he goes big to the gap, that's trouble, and it bounces over. Ground rule double. So Menizzi leaned on it, hit it right into the alley. Again, very short fence, height-wise, and the ball bounced over. And that's going to bring up Spencer Mahoney. And again, you only get the 4 home runs, so you want to use them judiciously. But two base runners or bases loaded are the preferred circumstances. And Anthony Stacy, being very careful, ends up losing Mahoney to load him. And Anthony Scarlata has hit many home runs. It wouldn't surprise me if Anthony didn't try to put one up in that netting in left field. So still nobody out here. And Scarlata, little ground ball. Oh, and the shortstop fell down. 1 run is in, 2 runs are in. Mahoney's going to score. Throw to second. Underneath is Scarlata. And that's going to be a 3-run single. Let's take a quick look at that again. Ball was hit, and sorry folks, we got to the replay late there. So here comes Dave Navarro. That looked like, and Dave swings, he dumps a hit, big bounce, that's going to allow Scarlata to score. Signatures put a 4 spot up here. Still nobody out. We'll see how long Future stays with Stacy. If this continues, here comes Greg Flowers. So, looked like Anthony might have got himself a double play ball, but the infielder just slipped and fell down, and the ball rolled into center, and 3 runs scored on that Scarlata base hit. And Signature has done this before. And there's a hard ground ball. Double pump, everybody's safe. Throw behind. And he's going to call him out. I don't know if we got a good view of that on the replay. We'll take a look. Dave Navarro overrunning the bag there. Shortstop just couldn't get the ears on it. And they ring him up. So 1 out, and here's Pick. And Pick goes high and deep, and that's going to hit the wall and just gets into the net for a 2-run homer. JT Redis was there. Ball hit the roof. JT put his hands out. He touched it. And they got a weird rule here. You only get 4 home runs, but they got a crazy rule where if you touch the ball and it goes out, here's Brian Haas, and it goes over the fence, they don't count that as a home run. So I'm not sure if they're going to count that as a home run. JT was clearly leaning over the fence. But we've seen strange things here in the Dome. So here's Haas now, nobody on base, and he goes the other way. And coming in, the right fielder got there, couldn't make the catch, and Haas will go to third. So Sam Como got there, got 2 hands on it.
Hey, Brian. Brian, who's the only out is there. Only out is
there. So 6-1 ball game here. Signature has jumped on top, bottom of the first. Still only 1 out here. And there's a swing and another base hit. And now Como has a little trouble. That's going to allow the 7th run. Wide throw. And Signature runs themselves into another out. They did score another run, 7-1. Both outs here in the first inning. One on an overrun at third. And now there, Marco got kind of hung up, kind of delayed and hesitated, never got to second. So again, we are live from the Rosemont Dome for the 2025 Winter Dome League playoffs. And there's a little soft roller to second, pitch and catch, and that'll be the 3rd out. Donnie Rollins grounds out to end the inning, but Signature puts up a 7th spot, and we're going to head to the top of the 2nd, and it'll be 6, 7, and 8. Pat Donahoe, JT Redis, and Jeff Duckman. And we have fall behind a few times. In this Dome League, and they have come back. And again, because of the short distances and the turf, we do see leads disappear in a hurry out here. Huh?
How many do we have bad?
It's 10.
10. That's what I said.
I'm adding Q to the bottom of my lineup when they're adding. We're both on 11.
Yeah. 11.
Well, who's 11?
And I'll let you know. Hey, who's the 11th guy?
So both teams are agreeing they wanted to add additional.
Joe Vandy.
Who?
Joe Vandy.
So Joe Vandervoos is being added to the lineup. And here's the leadoff man, little ground ball. And they make the play. So let me put Joe in here. So first hitter up and down here. And Future's a young team. They were handing out uniforms, which they certainly got more than 11 guys over there on the bench. And if you're Signature, and of course Signature figures to be playing late on Sundays, you play a young team like this, and there's a line drive to Mahoney, and he puts it away for out number one. You want to come out and take control of the ball game early, and you don't want the young kids to get any ideas. So here's Jeff Duckman. And there he goes, high and deep, and that ball is going to be foul. Actually did not quite have the distance, but he already had a strike. So Duckman, if you're scorekeeping at home, that'll be marked a strikeout. So weather permitting, we'll be outdoors on Wednesday for the championship game. And also this Saturday, weather permitting, I think Saturday's going to be an okay day, but I think the problem is going to be how much rain do we get on Friday. Hopefully the fields will be playable. So we'll keep an eye on that, but that'll be the first outdoor tournament of the year. That's a mixed tournament, major with some A and B, and I believe Matty Dozen is going to be doing like he did last year, which was basically two separate brackets. For the major and the A, and I believe that's I don't know if that's double a limb or consolation. A little ground ball to second here by the leadoff man, Q. Enrique Munoz. Brings us back to the top of the Signature lineup. So got a lot of softball coming up, and then if I'm not mistaken, next week we got some outdoor leagues starting. And there's a high fly ball to center, long run, and the center fielder Joey Krutnick got to it. So 2 up, 2 down, a little better start to this inning than the first. And we've seen this from Signature on occasion too, where they've scored runs early and then kind of drift for a few innings. And then when they get challenged later on in the ball game, they tend to kind of crank it back up. And there's a little push shot to the short center, and Jack Corfano makes the play. So at the end of 2, score remains 7-1. The Signature goes 1, 2, 3. And it's going to be 9, 10, and 11. Jack Cafaro, Jeremy Daughtry, the shortstop, and Joe Vandervoos. Future, they don't want to go too long here with so this looks more like Duckman, and there's a little fly ball caught by Marco. That'll be out number 1. That'll bring up Jack Cafaro. Sorry, folks, I'm just looking at this lineup and ground ball back to the pitcher. After a little fumble, Rollins recovers. 2 up, 2 down. And here comes Joe Vandervoos. So something weird going on there. I don't think Future hit in the exact same order that the lineup card was written. So here's Vandervoos. 2 up, 2 down here. And he swings, little ground ball to Scarlatta, long bounce in time. So we'll head to the bottom of the third. Sorry, folks, I wasn't keeping the innings up today. And Scarlatta did that a little bit last week, where every ball he caught, he was relying on that long bounce. And you might get away with that on the turf here in the dome, but outside on the dirt, you're not. And I know Scarlatta's got a strong arm, but part of why you play here is not only to get swings, but to get used to throwing the ball. You'd hate to go to a tournament and you've spent the whole dome season flipping the ball across the infield, relying on the turf to bounce it. Here's Mahoney. And then you get outdoors and you have to throw the ball across the infield, and all of a sudden you end up with a sore arm after the first weekend. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but if I was Sal Milazzo and Jeff Baytall, I'd be checking on Scar and making sure A, he's healthy, and B, and Spencer goes hard the other way, and Joe Krutnik can't get it, and it bounces and gets over the fence. Little inside-out action on the swing there. That ball was slicing away from Krutnik. He managed to get a couple of fingernails on it, but the ball bounced out of play. And it's a leadoff double. So here's Scarlatta. Scar got a break. And there's a little ground ball over to the shortstop. Nicely done there as he handled it no problem. Jeremy Daughtry making it look easy. But Mahoney moves to third. Brings up Dave Navarro. So signature 7 in the first. And there's a ball hit the other way right at JT. That is going to score Mahoney. Courtesy throw to the plate, had no chance. 8-1. And that's going to bring up Greg Fleming. And there's a hard cut. Third baseman with the dive. Can't come up with it. As Duckman laid out for it, but couldn't hold on. Fleming finds his way on.
Hey, Scar,
Nah, he started throwing jabs, bro.
And here comes Pick. Let's see if Pick tries to launch. Then there's a little ground ball up the middle. Carfano can't make the play off his hands and dribbled into right center field. Runners on the corner. Of course, Craig Fleming played with the Pharaohs. I know Cece is on here. Here comes Brian Haas. And Brian hits a ball hard into center. Another run scores. Navarro, who can scoot easily into third. Chavez, the problem is when I stream from field 2, I cannot see the scoreboard on field 1. So, sure Carly is down there. She's got the game on. Maybe she can chime in. Because your brother's playing, and nice pitch and catch there. But they pick up a few more runs. They go up 10 to nothing, or 10-1, excuse me, as we head to the fourth. So I'd like to thank one of our anchor sponsors for the Chicago Summer Series, Sweet Buzz. Of course, Nick Draybowl. If you're an adult and you use infused products, you may want to check them out. Feel free to talk to Nick Draybowl if you see him at a softball diamond. I'm sure he'll tell you all about it. So top of the lineup here, Joey Krutnik, Sam Como, and Anthony Stacy. And there's a ball pounded off the roof, and Izzy can't get to it, but they called it foul. So Krutnik, trying to go hard down the right field line, popped it up. Great job by Menizzi. We talk all the time in the Dome how if you are a infielder and you see a ball hit near that roof, you got to track the ball in case it hits a roof and comes down. And I'm sorry, it's 9-0. I thought it was 9. They fooled me on the scoreboard. Here's Krutnik. He ends up made it close, but they nip him by a half a stride. Again, we're in the fourth inning here. Future came out of the gate. They put their first 2 hitters on in the first inning and looked like maybe they were going to really have a big inning, but then they ended up with a couple of fielders' choices and only got 1. And there's another ball off the roof, and you can see how far out Menizzi went to track that ball, and he made the deflection off the roof look pretty easy. And I'm sorry, folks, but my camera kind of frozen, and they're going to go 1, 2, 3 as Stacy flies out, or grounds out, excuse me. Halfway through, 9-1 signature. And I'm not quite sure what's going on here with my replay. My monitor seems to have frozen. We'll try to figure out why it's frozen. Okay, we're back live, folks. I don't know what happened using that replay, and it froze up. And now there's a foul ball. Leadoff man here for signature went down. And it brings up Q. So we're a little more than halfway through here, 9-1. Sorry we had to start a brand new stream. Again, that was just very bizarre. And there's a ball off of Stacy. And we'll try this replay and make sure that it's back to functioning. This Q hit it right back at Stacy. And the ball rolled right to the first baseman as if he threw it there. Okay, so I don't know why it froze up, but we're back. Brings up top of the lineup here with Danny Marston. And Marston swings, ground ball back to Stacy. And he makes the play. So sorry about the little hiccups. Doesn't really surprise me in the sense that I updated the software today. It seems like we always get a glitch right when they update, ain't it? But we're going to head to the top of the fifth. And the game's getting a little short. Again, if there's anybody watching on the other diamond and you happen to be checking our game out, if you could throw a score in the chat box, I'm sure the people watching this game would love to see what Hex and, I believe that's Iron down there, are doing, the 1-8 combo. So it's going to be Dom, Stacy, Ryan Rogers, Pat Donahue. And there's a little ground ball. Menizzi, pitch and catch for out number one. That's going to bring up Ryan Rogers. So Future was, like I said, swinging the bats pretty good earlier in the dome session, but so far today they're stuck in neutral. And there's a swing and a sinking line drive. That'll drop into center. So Ryan Rogers with a one-out base hit for Future. Comes Pat Donahue with JT Reedus on deck.
You're good. Nobody near you. Big back.
So pick off Tom.
You're good.
I think he called that illegal.
You're good.
I think he was saying the pitcher might have taken a little too many steps, a little hop up to Greg Flowers, and that'll be out number two. So Futures just can't seem to string anything together. They got those first two guys on in the first. I don't think they've had 2 hits in a row since. Here's JT.
You're good. Nobody near you. Way up. Way up.
There's a swinging a long fly ball near the fence. Not quite enough. Greg Flowers just brushing up against the fence ever so gently. Made the catch, so JT just not enough. We head to the bottom of the 5th, still 9-1. Big difference in the ball game. Huge 7-run first. So I'm just going to drift here a little bit. Because it looks like Mark Menizzi, then Spencer Mahoney. Just gonna see if there's any way I can get deep enough to see a scoreboard down on the other diamond. Since I know it goes by seed, Hex would be in the home slot. So we're giving you a little weird kind of look here at what's going on far down the right field line. And there's a ball hit the other way into the alley. That's going to roll to the fence. Menizzi's going to take the turn and jog into second. So hopefully Mahoney's not going to hit one at me. And Sam Como isn't going to knock me over. Taking a little walk here, 9-1 in this game. We'll see what's going on in the Hex game. See if we can't get Curtis's attention. And Spencer Mahoney just hit a 2-run bomb on the other diamond, and that's 11-1. And there's a ball coming right at us. And that'll do it. Mercy run rule on the other diamond. We're going to slide over here and see what the score is. 6th inning here. If I'm reading that right, it's 4-0. Hex is winning. Now all teams today are only playing one game. So this is the bottom of the 6th. Hex is leading. Al Rice leading off. My guess is Al is going to try to dip and drive and hit something out of here. Instead, he goes opposite field to make a liar out of me. So low-scoring game. Of course, Hex has been scoring a lot of runs. I got to get ready for the next game, folks. So we'll try to show you a little bit here from our deep perch in left field. And Al Rice line drive right at Marco Macias. Four to nothing? Huh? So folks, we're going to click away here. Good defensive game at 4-0. But I do got to get ready for the nightcap. So we're going to be right back. Surprising score that Hex has only got a 4 spot with all those sluggers.